1. Introduction. My name is Marissa. This is my story. I want to tell you about my life. I married Carl when I was 23 years old. He was 26. We were very young. We did not have a lot of money at that time, but we had big dreams for our future, and we had each other. We felt that having each other was enough. It felt like everything we needed. We lived in a small apartment. The paint on the walls was old. The furniture was not new or expensive, but it was our home. It was a place filled with our laughter. It was a place filled with our hopes for the future. I worked in a shop that sold flowers. I loved being there. I loved the good smells of flowers, like red roses and white lilies. My job was to make pretty groups of flowers called bouquets for people. I did not earn a lot of money from this job, but I was happy to work and help. Carl worked as a waiter in a small restaurant. He worked for many hours every day. He often worked late at night and on the days when most people did not work, like the weekend. When he came home, he was often very tired. I always waited for him to come back. Sometimes I made him a warm drink like tea. We sat together on our old sofa. We talked a lot. We talked about our future life. Carl had a big dream. He wanted to start his own business one day. He said he wanted to make enough money to buy me a big house. He said he wanted to buy me beautiful clothes to wear. But I did not really care about a big house or nice clothes. I only wanted him. I believed in Carl very, very much. I thought he was a very clever person. I thought he was strong. I thought he could do anything he set his mind to do. My belief in him was very strong. I gave him everything I had. My heart belonged completely to him. I gave him all my time. When he needed money to take a course to learn about starting a business, I gave him the small amount of money I had saved from my job. I told him, "This money is for us, Carl. It is for our future life together." I never bought expensive things for myself. If I had a little extra money, I often used it to buy him something small, like a new shirt he needed or his favorite food to eat after work. I thought this was what love was. I thought supporting him like this meant I was being a good wife. I never, not even one time, thought that he would use my love and my help and then leave me alone. I never thought he would break my heart into a million small pieces, but he did this. He really did break my heart. 2. A change in him. After about 2 years, things started to change slowly. Carl began coming home late from his work. He always had reasons. He would say, "The restaurant was very busy," or "My boss asked me to stay longer." I tried to believe his words. I wanted to believe him because I loved him. But then his actions changed too. He stopped kissing me in the same way he used to. His kisses became quick and cold. They were not like the warm, loving kisses from before. Sometimes, when I touched his hand, he pulled it away quickly. He said he was just tired. He did look tired, but there was something else I saw in his eyes. They seemed distant, far away from me. He started to spend a lot of time looking at his phone. He smiled at his phone, but he did not smile at me. He often took his phone with him everywhere, even when he went to the bathroom. It felt like he had secrets. A knot started to grow in my stomach. It was a small, cold feeling of fear. I asked him many times, "Carl, are you okay? Is something wrong?" He always gave the same answer. "I'm fine, Marissa. I am just tired because of work. Please don't worry so much." But his eyes did not agree with his words. They were cold, like the eyes of a stranger I did not know. They did not have the happy sparkle they had when he looked at me before. One night, he came home very late. I was in bed, pretending to be asleep. When he took off his shirt, I smelled something new. It was perfume. It smelled like a very expensive and strong perfume. It was not my perfume. My perfume was light and smelled like flowers, and it was not expensive. My heart started to beat very, very fast. Deep inside, I knew. I knew that something was terribly wrong with us. I felt very sick in that moment. 3, the other woman. My heart felt very heavy the next day. I could not work well at the flower shop. The bright, happy flowers seemed to laugh at my sadness. I decided I had to know the truth. It was a bad idea, maybe, a terrible idea, but I could not live with the questions in my mind anymore. The not knowing was a pain itself. Carl said he had a meeting after work. A business meeting, he told me. It sounded important, like his big dreams. But to me, it sounded like a lie. I had to see, so I followed him. I closed the flower shop early. I waited across the street near his restaurant. I felt like a spy in a bad film. My hands were shaking very much. My stomach felt cold. I saw him come out. He looked different today. He wore a new shirt I had not seen before. He looked happy, excited, like the old Carl, but not with me. He walked a few streets and then stood on a corner. A big, black, shiny car came. It stopped for him. It was a very expensive car, the kind only very rich people have. The window went down slowly. I saw a woman inside. She was beautiful, yes. But she was not young like me, maybe 35 years old or even older. She looked very rich and powerful. Her hair was perfect. She wore big, dark glasses that hid her eyes. She had big gold earrings and a thick gold necklace. Everything she wore, everything about her, said money and success. She looked hard, not soft. Carl opened the car door and got inside quickly. He leaned towards her. She laughed. It was a high laugh, like small glass bells ringing, not a warm sound. Then I saw it clearly. They kissed. It was not a quick kiss hello between friends. It was a long kiss. A kiss full of feeling. A kiss between people who are in love, who are together. My heart did not just stop beating. It felt like it broke into a million small, sharp pieces inside my chest. I could not breathe. I felt faint, like I would fall. I leaned against a wall, feeling very weak and cold. Later, I learned her name. Her name was Vanessa. She was very, very rich. She owned 5 big hotels in the city. She was powerful. She was everything I was not. Rich, confident, strong, experienced, not simple. And she had my husband. In that moment, standing on the street, watching them drive away, my world completely shattered into dust. It fell down like broken glass around me. He left me. I went home that day. My head hurt, and my heart felt like glass that was broken. The small apartment was quiet. I sat and waited. I didn't know what to do. Everything felt wrong. Much later, Carl came home. He looked happy. He did not see my face wet with tears. He did not see how much I hurt. I had to ask him. I had to know. My voice was very quiet. "Who is she, Carl?" I asked. He stopped smiling. His face became hard. He knew I saw him. He did not lie. "Her name is Vanessa," he said. His voice was flat with no feeling. I needed him to say more. "And?" I asked again. Then he said the words that cut me deep. "I love her, Marissa. I am leaving you. I am going to be with her." He said it so simply, like he was talking about the weather. My body felt weak. I could not stand. My legs did not work. I fell to the floor. I was on my knees. I looked up at him. The man I loved was standing there, telling me he would leave me for another woman. "No," I cried. Tears ran fast down my face. "Please, Carl, don't go, don't leave me. What about our life, our dreams?" I held onto his legs. I begged him. I forgot about feeling proud. I only wanted him to stay with me. He looked down at me. His eyes were cold. There was nothing warm in them. "You are too simple, Marissa," he said. His voice was not kind. "You are a good person, but you are too simple. I want a different life, a life with more. Vanessa can give me that, an exciting life." Simple. He called me simple. That word hurt me very much. He pulled his legs away from my hands. He went into our bedroom. He took a bag and put some clothes inside. He did not look at me. He did not look at our photos. He just packed a few things. Then he walked to the door. I was still on the floor, crying. I watched him go. He stood at the door for a moment. "Goodbye, Marissa," he said. Then he opened the door and walked out. He closed the door. The sound was loud in the quiet room. I was alone. He left me. I was completely broken on the floor of our apartment. 5, my sad days. The days after Carl left were very sad and slow. It felt like a long, dark time with no end. I cried every night until my eyes were red and tired. Sometimes there were no more tears left, but the deep pain stayed inside me. Our small apartment, the place where we were once happy, felt like a sad prison now. It was full of memories that hurt me. The bed felt too big and very cold without him there. For a few days, I could still smell his scent on his pillow. I held it close to my face, hoping for some comfort, but it only made the pain feel sharper, like a knife twisting in my heart. I could not eat anything at all. Food tasted bad, like cold ash in my mouth. My friends from the flower shop were very kind to me. Mrs. Davis, who owns the shop, brought me food to eat. They tried to help by saying things like, "You must be strong now, and time will help you forget." They had good hearts, but their words felt empty to me. How could I be strong when my heart was broken? It felt like my soul was bleeding from a very deep wound. Sleeping was very difficult for me. When I did sleep, I often had bad dreams. I saw Carl and Vanessa in my dreams. They were laughing and looking happy together. In the dreams, their faces looked beautiful, but also cold and cruel. I would wake up suddenly, my heart beating very fast and hard. The empty space next to me in the bed was always there, a very clear reminder of my lonely life now. The worst thing was seeing his new life. It was easy to find pictures on the internet. Carl was in many photos, smiling. He was at very expensive dinners and big parties. He was always with Vanessa. She looked beautiful and very strong, like she was in control of everything. She wore expensive clothes and bright, shining jewelry. Carl looked happy too. He smiled in a way I had not seen for a long time, not since the first days of our marriage. Then I saw one picture of Vanessa's hand. There was a very big, bright diamond ring on one finger. They were going to get married. Each picture I saw, each happy post about their life, felt like a new cut on my already broken heart. He had chosen money and a fancy life instead of our simple love. He told me I was too simple, and now he had his exciting life with a rich woman. I was left alone with my sadness and my tears in our small, quiet apartment. I felt very small and completely worthless. My world had broken into many pieces, and I did not know how to build it again. I did not even know if I wanted to try. The sadness was very deep inside me. 6, a new friend. Months passed slowly. The sharp pain from before started to feel less strong, but a heavy sadness stayed with me all the time. I went to work at the flower shop every day. I had to work. Mrs. Davis, the owner, was very kind. I was not happy like I was before. I made flower arrangements, but my mind was often far away. I just did the work. I felt empty inside. One afternoon, a man came into the shop. I had seen him a few times before. He just looked at the flowers, but he never bought anything or said much. He was not very tall. He had a kind face and soft brown eyes. He looked like he was around 30 years old. Today, he walked to my counter. He said he wanted to buy a small plant. He wanted something easy to take care of. I started to wrap the pot for him. While I was doing this, he looked at my face. "Your eyes look sad," he said. He said it quietly. It was not a question. It was just what he saw. I was surprised. Most people tried to say happy things that did not feel real. but he just saw the truth. I looked at him. His eyes were kind. "Yes," I said softly. My voice was very low. Someone hurt me very much." I did not plan to say this. The words just came out. He did not ask me why. He did not ask for details. He just nodded slowly. His kind eyes stayed on my face for a moment. "He paid for the plant. He said thank you and left the shop. But the next day he came back. He bought one red rose. 'This is for my mother,' he said with a small smile. The day after that, he came again. He bought a small group of white daisies. 'These look happy,' he said. I learned his name was Elias. He started to come to the shop often. Sometimes he bought flowers. Sometimes he just came in to say hello. He never asked about my sadness, but he listened if I said something small. He talked about simple things. He talked about a book he was reading. He told me a funny story about his dog. He talked about the weather changing. He was very calm. His visits were like a quiet, gentle wind. He was always kind. He never tried to be more than a friend. He never made me feel uncomfortable. Slowly, very slowly, I started to feel a tiny bit of something different. It was not happiness. But when Elias smiled, the day felt a little less dark. My heart felt a little less heavy. His consistent kindness was like a small light in my sadness. It did not fix me, but it helped me feel a little bit less broken. 7. He came back. Almost 1 year passed since Carl left. My life was slowly getting better. The flower shop was my safe place. Elia's short visits helped me feel less sad. I was not truly happy, but I was not completely broken anymore. One evening, I was closing the shop. I looked across the street and saw him. It was Carl. He was just standing there, watching me. I felt a shock. He looked very different. He did not wear expensive clothes. His jacket was simple and looked old. He was thinner. His face looked tired. There were new lines near his eyes. The man who left me, who was full of himself, was gone. Now he looked like a man who had lost. He came across the street and stood in front of me. "Marissa," he said. His voice sounded rough. I just looked at him. I felt strangely quiet inside. I thought I would feel angry or sad, but I felt almost nothing. "Can we talk?" he asked. I thought for a moment, then I said yes. We walked to a bench in a park nearby. This was the same park where we used to sit and talk about our future, our simple dreams. "Vanessa left me," he said. He looked at his hands as he spoke. "She found a new man. He was richer than me, more important." He made a face that showed he was angry about it. "She took everything. The apartment, the money. I have nothing now, Marissa. No money, no job." I listened to him. My face did not show how I felt or didn't feel. I remembered him saying he wanted more, a better life. His better life was gone. "I made a mistake," he said, looking up at me. His eyes looked like he needed help. "A very big mistake. I was stupid. Money and that life blinded me." He reached for my hand, but I did not give it to him. "Marissa, please, I miss you. I miss what we had. Can you forgive me? Can you let me come back?" He was asking me to take him back. The proud Carl was begging me. 1 year ago, I wanted nothing more than to hear these words. 1 year ago, I would have run to him, but now I felt nothing for him, no anger. The strong anger I felt had gone away like smoke, leaving only cold pieces. No love. He had killed that with his actions. There was just an empty space where my feelings for him used to be. I looked at him. This was the man who broke my world to get money and a rich life. "You left me for money, Carl," I said. My voice was quiet but strong. "You told me I was too simple. Now you have nothing, and you want to come back to me." It felt strange, like a story that was not real. 8. A new life. Carl stood in front of Marissa. He looked tired and sad. He asked her to take him back. He said he was very sorry for everything. He told her he made a big mistake when he left her for Vanessa and her money. He said he knew now that their simple life was better than the rich life he lost. Marissa listened to Carl's words. She looked at his face, but inside she felt quiet. She did not feel the old love for him. She did not feel angry or hate him either. There was just an empty space where those feelings used to be. She remembered how much pain she felt when he left. It was like a deep cut that took a long time to start healing. She spoke to him softly. Her voice was calm. "No, Carl," she said, "I cannot take you back." It was not easy to say these words, but it felt right. "You broke something between us," she told him. "It cannot be fixed now." She looked at him for a moment longer. Carl looked very sad. He slowly stood up. He did not say anything else. He just turned and walked away. Marissa watched him go. She felt a strange kind of peace inside her heart. The storm was over. Then she thought about Elias. Elias was a kind man. He was a good friend. His gentle smiles had helped her when she was very sad. But Marissa knew something important now. She needed to be alone. She needed to find her own way without a man beside her. Not Carl and not Elias. She needed to stand on her own 2 feet. She decided to choose herself. For the first time in a long time, she asked herself, what does Marissa want? She remembered things she loved before. She started painting again. She bought colors and paper. She painted pictures with bright colors. She put her feelings and her hopes on the paper. It felt very good to do this. She saved some money from her job at the flower shop. One day, she went on a small trip. She went to the sea all by herself. She walked on the beach for a long time. She listened to the sound of the waves. The sun felt warm and good on her skin. It was a beautiful time. She felt free. She began to smile again. These were real smiles. She was not the sad, heartbroken wife anymore. She was Marissa. She had faced a very hard time, a big storm, and she had survived. The pain that Carl caused did not disappear completely, but it did not control her life anymore. In a strange way, the pain made her stronger. It showed her how strong she was inside. She learned about herself. She was not too simple. She was brave. She was creative. She was whole and complete by herself. She knew now, deep in her heart, that if real love came to her again, it would be with someone who loved her just as she was. It would never ask her to be smaller or different. But for now, she was enough. She was finally, truly enough for herself.